This video is brought to you by StoneAgeGamer.com. It's where I go for my retro gaming systems, games, accessories, and more. So be sure to check out StoneAgeGamer.com. Hey gamers, how you doing? My name is John with Gamester81.com. In this episode, I'll be reviewing a new collector's edition done for the ColecoVision by ColecoVision. That's a mouthful. It's hard to say, but this came out. It's limited to only 150 box sets, and I'm going to open this up for you guys here in a second, show you what's included. For those who don't know, just briefly, Pong and Computer Space were the two games in the box set, and they're really what they consider like the grandfather of arcade games, of video games in general. And what's cool is ColecoVision got the rights through Atari Interactive, and they acquired the rights to produce this limited run. This is done really, really well. If you look on the back, there's even a hologram sticker with a limited edition number here. I got number 92 out of 150. Now the first 80 sets, actually, the cartridges are different colors. So for example, the Pong is yellow. You have the Computer Space is blue, which is really cool. After number 80, they're all black carts, which is the version I have here, which you'll see here in a second. Really done. I mean, this box, the production quality is done really, really well. So on the front, you have a really classic picture of the two arcade machines. On the back, it shows a classic picture of Ted Dabney, Nolan Bushnell, and Alan Alcorn. Basically, they are the guys who worked on Pong together. Let's open this up. You have the Atari logo here in the bottom right corner. And let's open this up. Basically, what comes with is you get this really cool flyer, the history of both Computer Space and Pong, which is really cool. It's a very high-quality manual and explains the different history of each arcade machine and the importance. And here are the different box games themselves, done in a classic ColecoVision style. So you get the yellow burst, ColecoVision burst here, and on the back you see screenshots. The quality is really well. In case you guys are wondering how much this sold for, and I believe there's still a few available out of the 150, I'll put a link to ColecoVision's website below. Retailed initially for 150, although if you pre-ordered, you can pick it up for 110. And now I know that might seem steep to some people, but to be honest with you, this is for collectors and those who appreciate the history of gaming and want this as part of their collection. So keep that in mind, and plenty of people bought it for 150, trust me. So let's open Pong up. Let me just show you the card itself. You get a nice flyer here with Pong, Computer Space, tribute to Bushnell, Dabney, and Alcorn. Deliver ROMs for your ColecoVision Solo ColecoVision games ad here, which is really cool. And it looks like here, basically you can download Computer Space and Pong ROMs. You can go to the website and download the ROM. So it's a digital copy along with this, which is really neat of ColecoVision to do that. Here's the instructions for Pong itself. Pretty easy game to play. I think most of us are probably familiar with Pong. If you guys aren't, it's more of a tennis-style game. Again, screenshots, different things like that, which is pretty awesome. A fun discovery, all that good stuff. Here's the card itself, black label card, Pong. It really matches the look and feel of a classic ColecoVision game. Let's open up Computer Space. Again, you have the cartridge, Computer Space. Matches the feel, love it. And here is the instructions. Now, only 1,500 of these Computer Space cabinets were sold. It's considered really the first arcade game commercially to be sold. And it's considered to kind of be a failure in the sense that only 1,500 sold, but it really was, the plug was pulled early on the project, and it could have done a lot better. And it's actually a pretty fun game, and came out in 1971 for those who are interested. Different instructions, all that good stuff, and another picture on the back. What's on the back of the Pong? You get a Pong right here. So really, really cool box set. That was an unboxing. Now let me show you some gameplay for each of these Pong and Computer Space. If you guys want to find out more information about ColecoVision itself, I'll put a link to the website below, along with their Facebook and Twitter, along with their Atari Age forums, where you can follow them with latest projects that ColecoVision is working on. Right now, let's take a moment and check out both of these games. First game I'm going to show you is Computer Space 1971. Now, this is obviously on the ColecoVision. This is a port by Kiwi Productions. Very, very well done port, actually. And the really only home Computer Space port that I'm aware of, produced by ColecoVision with permission from Atari. So that was really cool. Atari let them do this. Here's a home screen, really cool. You got the original game, deluxe game. You have credits, of course. I'll show you both original and deluxe. We'll start with the original. What's cool is you have a lot of different options here. You can customize the grayscale. You can do color background, which is cool. You also do dogfight, which is basically one-on-one, two-player. You can do one player. You can do two-player co-op. So rather than playing against each other, you can play on the same team. You got normal time, a long time, short time, etc. And the object of this game, Computer Space, is to shoot and destroy these spaceships on the screen. So if you've ever played a game like Asteroids, it's very similar. Just think of the asteroids being the spaceships. So there's two spaceships on screen at one point, and you have a ship you control. You also control the look of the ships. You can do dotty or you can do solids. The original gameplay were done in dotty. I'll stick with solids. It's a little bit more easy to see. One cool gaming aspect of this game as well is you can actually curve the direction of your bullets. Now, that wasn't intentional, of course, but that's just the way this game was designed, and actually makes the game a lot more fun. You have 100 seconds, and once you're up, basically, the point is, I have 2 hits right now, they have 0. Whoever gets the most hits wins the match. Each match is about 100 seconds long. If I have more hits than the ships do on me, then I get an additional bonus 100 seconds to play, and it goes into kind of a white mode, which is cool. Also want to touch base about the brief history of Computer Space and how it got started. It started back in 1969 when a then young Nolan Bushnell, who later was the founder of Atari, brought his friend Ted Dabney to Stanford's Artificial Intelligence Lab. With the duo, they basically, Nolan Bushnell had played he discovered a game called Space War, which was a large computer and really the first home computer game back in the 60s. And he wanted to create a version of that game to be a coin operated, so basically play on coins. They designed a version, but they soon discovered that version actually cost $200,000 to produce, and they discovered that obviously with that high production cost, it wouldn't make sense financially for investors to purchase that really expensive machine, especially back then, and that'd take a lot of quarters obviously to recoup. So it really didn't work out very well. Eventually they worked with some prototypes, and they tweaked some things and came along, and soon enough they created Computer Space, which they cut down the cost. Now they worked through Nutting, and Nutting helped produce this game. They sold eventually 1,500 versions of this. Actual arcades were sold, but Nutting was kind of a cheapskate. This was the very first arcade game, coin-operated arcade game in the market, and people were skeptical. They weren't quite sure if it was going to work, and so they basically pulled the plug on the project before it could really actually take off and go with it. So unfortunately, it was a very short-lived project, but the gameplay, as you can see, and the sound effects were actually pretty impressive for the early 70s. Now I'm going to show you the deluxe version. Now this is cool. This is the deluxe mode, so obviously it's going to be in color, a little better graphics, same gameplay as normal, but just updated graphics on the ColecoVision. You can see here I get the turquoise ship, and the actual enemy, I have one enemy and he stops and shoots, so he's a little more, I guess, smart, and you have to be careful. So a lot more challenging in this particular mode. Still a lot of fun, but the gameplay is different enough where it's definitely entertaining. Now moving on to Pong, there are a lot of games within this game. You'll see here in a second. And actually you get the arcade Pong, Super Wall Ball, Sports, and Sports Deluxe. So we'll start with the classic arcade. You can change different settings, high HD graphics, block graphics like the original. Object of Pong, it's a 2-player game. There's no single player Pong. You have 2 paddles, and the object is to keep the ball in front of you. Don't let it pass you, kind of like ping pong or tennis, etc. Now, the history of Pong is in early 1972, Nolan Bushnell talked to Bill Nutting from Nutting Associates, who had produced Computer Space, and he wanted to create a new game, and Bill was not having much luck with that. He didn't want to do it. So what Nolan Bushnell decided to do is break off and do his own thing. So he contacted some of his friends, Ted Dabney, as well as Al Alcorn, and they created Pong. Now, they had a contract through Bally to create a pinball game and a video game. And what ended up happening is they had a prototype of Pong in the works, and they put it on display at a place in Southern California called Andy Cap's Tavern. A couple weeks later, they got a call from the owner that the Pong had stopped working. It turned out that there's so many quarters in the machine that it had basically caused it to stop working. So it was a huge success. They created several more copies, and the company they initially formed was called Synergy, And they eventually changed the name to Atari because they discovered that Synergy's name was already taken, so they changed it to Atari. Now this is interesting. This is the Super Wall Ball in the ColecoVision port. Now this is a new game, and it's just single player, which is nice. And there's various upgrades, and you can see there. And the object is to keep the ball in front of you. This does get challenging, and the upgrades can do various things. You can change the length of your paddle, it can shrink it. There's power-ups and there's downgrades. So it's kind of it's challenging. You have 3 lives. And you get points from collecting these items here as well. As many of you guys know, Atari went on to port the Pong to the home console market, and that was a huge success for Atari. It made a lot of money, which ended up eventually leading to them making Atari 2600 and other systems and classic games. Now this is Pinball as part of one of the options here that you have, and this is done in the original graphics. Of course, it's 2 players, so I'm playing one single player. It doesn't do me much good, but you can see the object is to get the ball through the goal, and it can kind of get fun when you're different playing a 2-player. Here is the deluxe version of Pinball as well. You can see the graphics are updated. This is for the ColecoVision port. I really like that they included this because it brings a lot more interesting aspect of the game as well. So overall, this is a really cool box set. I really recommend checking it out. It's definitely a love letter to the classic games that are the grandfathers of video gaming for the gaming industry. Thanks for watching, guys. Please, you guys want to stay in touch, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and more. You guys want to find out more information about ColecoVision, I'll put links to their Facebook, Twitter, and the website below as well. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys soon. Happy gaming. Take care.